Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I, Sumaira Wasim, welcome you all over here in class 5, week 7 for the topic condensation from F6 Fort Road, Rawalpindi. The objective of today's lesson is we will be able to learn what is condensation, mechanism of condensation, and many daily life examples of the condensation. Another important thing, cloud seeding and silver iodine method. Now let's see the definition of condensation. Dear students, when water which collects as a water droplets on the cold surface, when humid air is in contact with it, or it may say the conversion of water vapor or a gas to a liquid. Condensation is the change of the physical state of matter from the gas phase into the liquid phase and is the reverse of vaporization. My dear students, condensation is a physical process. There is no chemical change in it and it is opposite of evaporation. Is it clear to you? Now you will better understand the process of condensation with the help of daily life examples. Dear students, there are so many examples in our life which presents the process of condensation. Now let's see one by one. Bathroom mirror becomes foggy after you take shower. Water droplets forming on the outer surface of the cold can. Formation of the dew drops. During winter, when we speak, cloud forms in front of the mouth as we breathe. Clouds in the sky are also formed through the condensation process. Examples which we will discuss one by one. Why does a bathroom mirror turn misty after a shower? So it is also an example of the condensation. What happens? Let's see. Bathroom mirrors have a tendency to get misty or foggy when you are taking a shower or using the hot water in the sink. This is because warm water vapor suspended in the air transforms back into the water droplets as it cools. These small droplets collect on the surrounding surfaces and are especially noticeable on the materials such as glass since they distort light waves, making the mirror and window appear foggy or misty. This example is clear to you now. Why does water droplets gather around a bottle containing a cold water? Is it a magic? No, it is also a process of condensation. There is a moisture in the air, you all know, and this is called humidity. In the previous lesson, you know that what is humidity. It is the amount of the water vapors in the air. The amount of the moisture that can be in the air depends on the temperature of the air. The warmer the air, the more water it can hold in it. When the air comes up against the cold outside of the cold bottle, the air right next to the bottle gets cold. It gets so cold that it can't hold as much water as anymore. Some of the water condenses and comes out of the air onto the bottle. I think that this example is also clear to you that why we observe water droplets after putting the can or a cold water outside from the refrigerator. Let's see students how dew is formed. Have you seen dewdrops on the grass blade in the morning? Yes, we have seen many times. Let's see how they are formed. They are also formed as a process of the condensation. And what is condensation? Formation of the water droplets from the water vapors. Dew is the moisture that forms as a result of the condensation. Condensation is the process a material undergoes as it changes from a gas to a liquid. Dew is the result of the water changing from a vapor to a liquid. Dew forms as the temperature drops and objects cool down. If the object becomes cool enough, the air around the object will also cool. Colder air is less able to hold the water vapor than warm air. This forces water vapor in the air around cooling objects to condense. When condensation happens, small water droplets form and it is called dew. I hope that the formation of the dewdrop is clear to you on the grass blade in the morning. Example number 4. Why do I see my breath when it is cold? We cannot see our breath in the summer season because condensation takes place in winter season. And it also depends upon the temperature. My dear students, our bodies contain nearly 70% water. The air in our lungs is almost completely saturated with the water vapors. Means water is in the gas form and is the same temperature at our bodies, 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. Degree Fahrenheit is the unit of the temperature. Cold air cannot hold as much moisture as the warm air. I told you before this that the cold air is not having the tendency to hold the moisture as the warm air. So when one exhales a saturated breath on a cold day, by the cold air rapidly lowers the temperature of our breath. Listen again. So when one exhales warm, saturated breath on the cold day, the cold air rapidly lowers the temperature of our breath, whereupon the combination briefly reaches the dew point. At dew point, air cannot no longer hold water vapors. When air is cooled beyond the dew point, water vapors turn to the liquid form, the physical process known as condensation. It is this liquid form of your breath, minuscule droplets of the water, that creates the fleeting, misty cloud we see when we breathing in the cold weather. I hope that you have a good concept about the formation of the condensation while taking the breath in the winter. Example number 5. How clouds are formed. This question came many times in your mind. Dear students, it is also the example of the condensation. Clouds form when the invisible water vapors in the air condenses into the visible water droplets or the ice crystals. There is a water around us all the time in the form of the tiny gas particles, also known as water vapors. There are also tiny particles floating around in the air, such as salt and dust. These are called the aerosols. Aerosols make it easier for the water vapor to condense, and once the process starts, eventually bigger water droplets form around the aerosol particles. And these water droplets starts to merge with other droplets and forms cloud. Look at the diagram. This diagram will also tells you the 4 steps of for the formation of the clouds. Sunlight warms the surface. Warm, moist air buildup becomes less dense. Then it will rise, organize into the thermals, and then rising air cools, condenses to form the clouds. So this is about the cloud formation by the process of condensation. Another important subtopic. What is cloud seeding? Do you have any idea about it? I think those who have a habit of pre-reading, they must know that what is cloud seeding. Let's see. Clouds carry water. Unfortunately, the water does not always get to where it's needed on the ground. When the water molecules are spread out, they are not dense enough to feel the Earth's gravity. When the molecules huddle together, they form larger, heavier droplets. Eventually, they become heavy enough to fall to the ground as precipitation. Cloud seeding involves modifying cloud structure to increase the chance of the precipitation. Cloud seeding adds small ice-like particles to the clouds. Usually silver iodide particles are used. So this is a chemical, so remember it. These particles act as an additional condensation nuclei. Unattached supercooled water vapor molecules in the cloud condenses around these particles. Then the condensed water vapor droplets group together. This process continues until the droplets are large enough to fall as the rain. This diagram will also help you out about the cloud seeding work. Look at the diagram, dear students. Silver iodide particles are released from the air and on the ground base flare trees. Particles rise with the updraft of the storm's convective bands into the orographic clouds. The hygroscopic silver iodide particles help the supercooled liquid water freezes into the ice crystals. And number third point is precipitation efficiency is enhanced, means rainfall is enhanced. Precipitation means rainfall as ice crystal fall, as snow or the rain. Last but not least, conclusion. In this video, we have learned that what is condensation, how does it occur, and we have discussed many daily life examples in detail so that the concept of the condensation should be clear to you. What is cloud seeding? And I hope that you have understand all the concepts as they are described in detail in the video. But still, if you have any queries, you can ask. Thank you.